Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Emma, and today I'll be guiding you through a yoga class with arm balance options. Let's go ahead and get started in a child's pose. You don't need any blocks today, but if you like to use blocks, you're more than welcome to always. Let's extend those arms forward, take the knees wide, and then just kind of wiggle into your child's pose. So maybe you have to adjust the knees or the feet. Maybe you like to kind of wiggle around your armpits. And then take a few breaths here to settle in. Let anything from your day, from your week, that might be occupying your mind, imagine leaving that, pushing that off of the four corners of your mat. And with every exhale, feel yourself dropping a little bit more into the four corners of your mat. See if you can lengthen those exhales, pushing all of the old air out. On your next inhale, breathe in through your nose, inch your fingertips a little bit more forward. And then walk your hands over to the right. Continue to breathe through your nose, gently contracting the back of your throat, starting to fire up your Ujjayi breath, and then we'll walk the hands over to the left. And walk your hands back through center. Roll yourself up towards tabletop, kind of like through a cat pose. And then bump your knees in under your hips. Press the tops of your feet down. Close your eyes. Inhale, arch your back. Pull your sternum forward, chin up. Exhale, keeping your eyes closed, round your back. Tuck your tailbone. Then again, inhale, arch back. Fill up all the way to the top. And exhale, round, empty your lungs. Notice that with the eyes closed here, you can feel a little bit less distracted. Maybe you're able to turn your attention inwards just a little bit more. Take 2 more rounds of cat-cow on your own. Start to feel that body to breath connection, linking the movement with the breath. And then we'll meet with a neutral spine. Bring your left hand to the center of your mat and reach your right arm up. Push down with your left hand to assist in that twist. Look up at your right hand. Thread your right arm through, but don't let it touch the mat. See how far you can reach over to the left. Can your fingers pass the long side of your mat? And then reach your right arm up again. Inhale. Do that again. See how far you can reach without touching the mat. Last time, inhale, reach up. Exhale, thread the needle. Right arm going under, right shoulder down. Once you come there, you can walk your left hand forward or half wrap. Feel a gentle lean to the right. Minimize the space between your ankles and your mat. Press the tops of your feet down. Take one more breath. Slide your left hand back beside your face. Push down and unwind. Reach your right arm up. And right hand down at the center. Actively push down. Reach your left arm up. Thread your left arm through like you're reaching as far as you can. Can your fingers pass the long edge of your mat? And then reach your left arm up again. This helps to warm up your thoracic middle spine. Reach it through, but don't touch. Inhale, last time, reach up. Exhale, thread it through. Come all the way down and walk your right hand forward. Little lean to the left. Breathe into your upper back. Having mobility and space in your thoracic spine is important for all of us, but especially those who are active, like athletes. Use a lot of rotation, a lot of flexion and extension through your thoracic spine. Walk your right hand back beside your face. Push down and unwind. Stretch your left arm up. And then find a tabletop position. Tuck your toes and then push your butt back towards your heels. You should feel a stretch in the bottoms of your feet. Now, if you want to make this a little bit more intense, you can grab the outer edges of your mat and pop your knees up off of the mat. Then your knees are kind of lifting, your butt sinking towards the back of your mat. Keep your knees bent as you lift your hips up, bear pose. You can continue to grab the edges of the mat or place your hands flat. Lifting the heels up, keeping your knees bent, relax your neck. Straighten your right leg. And then switch, straighten your left leg. Take a few pedals on your own. And then find some stillness. Feel free to keep your knees bent, your heels lifted. It doesn't need to look a certain way. Go where you feel sensation and meet your body where it's at today. Don't force the poses. Lift your heels up, tippy-toe your feet, and then drop them over to the right. Maybe that left foot wants to step behind the right heel. Option to tend to your left fingers. Keep lifting up through the sides of your waist. And then come back through center. Take your heels to the left. Maybe the right foot wants to step behind. Option to tend to your right fingers. Back through center, tippy toes. Walk it all the way up to the front of the mat, taking your feet out nice and wide. Just let your arms hang heavy. Sway a little bit side to side. Maybe even turn the palms to face up on the mat and just kind of let them rest there, feeling a stretch through the backs of your hands, the entire back side of your body. Shake your head out, yes. Little bobs. And shake your head out, no. Let's go ahead, place the left hand underneath the nose, mat or block, bend your left knee and reach your right arm up. Make a fist and roll out your wrist. And then half wrap your right arm behind your back. Feel free to prop up onto your fingertips. You're actively pushing down to assist with the twist. Little lean to the left, take a deep breath in, expand. And exhale, release, switch. Right hand down, bend your right knee, reach your left arm up. Make a fist, roll out your wrist. And then half wrap that left arm behind the back. Option to prop up onto the fingertips so you feel a little more lift. You're wringing out your spine, leaning slightly to the right, big inhale. And exhale, release, left hand down. Hands plant, step back to plank pose. Dome your back, imagine your hands dragging back towards your feet. Feel your hip points pull forward. Shift your weight forward and try to gaze forward as you slowly 5 count lower all the way to your belly. 4, 3, 2, 1. Untuck your toes. Stretch your arms back with the palms down. Inhale, lift your chest and your arms off of the mat. Pull your chin towards your throat. Reach through your fingertips. Extend your arms forward and lift your legs up. Feel a nice lengthen from your pinky toes through your pinky fingers. Take a breath in, lift up more. Exhale, plant your hands under your shoulders. On your next inhale, Push down into your hands and roll up to a cobra pose. Roll the shoulders onto your back. Feel your spine push in behind your heart. Avoid clenching your glutes, just let your inner thighs melt towards the mat. Take an inhale. Exhale, child's pose. Just one breath here. Take an inhale through your nose and an exhale through your nose. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Steady your breath. Hopefully you can hear your breath a bit, especially if you practice Ujjayi breath, those inhales and exhales through your nose. Lift your heels up, look forward, step with your right foot, then your left foot to the front, lift up halfway, and fold forward. Inhale, rise, reach up, look at your thumbs, and then follow your hands to your heart center. Release your arms by your side, Samastitihi, Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, reach your arms up, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Feel free to bend your knees. Halfway lift, gaze forward. Hands down, step back, right foot, then left foot, chaturanga, lower, halfway. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, tone your belly, push back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Hide your heels behind your ankles. Feel free to keep your heels off the mat slightly and your knees bent. If your heels do touch the mat, try to lift your toes. Push your thigh bones back. Inhale. Exhale. Lift your heels, look forward. Step left foot, then right foot to the front. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Inhale, rise, reach up, look up. Hands to your heart and by your side. Again, inhale, reach up, maybe lean back a bit. Exhale, fold. Half lift. Hands down, step back, left foot, right foot, chaturanga to the bottom of your breath. So you're letting the breath set the pace for your practice. We'll meet in downward facing dog. You never want to rush your breath. You want to keep it long, full, complete, and even. And that means you never want to rush the poses because the poses are linked with the breath. One more breath in your down dog. Lift your heels, look forward, step or jump to the front. Halfway lift and fold forward. Inhale, rise, reach up. Hands to your heart and by your side. Last time, reach up, lean back. Exhale, fold. Push the breath out. Halfway lift. Palms down, step or jump back. Vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. And once you get there, I want you to take your feet wide, about the width of your mat. Walk your hands back a little bit and bring your thumbs to touch. Then take your right hand and reach for your outer left ankle. Imagine pulling your torso through to the left and bumping your hips to the right. Relax your neck. Your left hand is pushing down and forward into the mat. One more breath. Release and switch. Left hand, reach for outer right ankle. Think about pulling your torso through and bumping your hips to the left. Feel the right side of your body lengthen. One more breath. Bring your thumbs to touch and look forward. Step or jump your feet outside of your hands into a yogi squat. Your toes are likely off the edges of your mat. Feel free to sit on a block. Avoid collapsing into the inner ankle. Push the outer blade down. Push your low back in, feel the back of your skull lift. So a little tuck of the chin. Feel some space almost between the shoulder blades. One more breath. Hands down, lift it up and walk your feet in. Forward fold. Halfway lift and fold. Inhale, rise, reach up. Keep your hips square to the front, but reach your right arm back and your left arm forward. That right hip crease wants to pull back, so the goal here is to try to push your right hip forward. Roll some weight to the inner edges of your feet. If this all feels okay, try to look back at your right thumb. Inhale, reach both arms up and twist it over to the left. Soften your shoulders away from your ears. Left hip going forward, lighter toes. That feels okay. Look back towards your left thumb. Inhale, reach both arms up. Bend your knees, sweep your arms back. Sink the weight into your heels, bring your shins back. And then lift your heels up and push your ankle bones forward. We're gonna take a 5 count lower to toe stand. So see how slowly you can start to drop your butt towards your heels. 4, 3, 2, 1. Toe stand, option hands mat, hands blocks, or hands to heart. Hug the ankle bones towards each other. Avoid arching your back, soften your bottom ribs. Pull your belly button back, and once again, lift the back of your skull. Maybe close your eyes, breathe. Option to use your hands or not. Drop your butt back, Navasana, shins parallel. If that's a little easy for you today, challenge yourself and straighten your legs. Take the rounding out of your lower back. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Lift your sternum. Plug your shoulders back. And once again, breathe. As slowly as you can, lower your low back to the mat. And then tabletop your legs. Flex your feet. Bring your hands to your heart center. Hook your left elbow outside of your right thigh. Think like a twisted chair pose, but you're on your back, flexing your feet. So your right shoulder and even your right tricep and elbow are on the mat, but you're pushing the right palm into the left palm. Your left shoulder blade is definitely off of the mat. You should feel this in the left side of your abdomen. Release and take a big stretch. Arms overhead, inhale. Exhale, hug your knees in. Tabletop your legs and flex your feet. Prayer hands at your heart. Hook your right elbow outside of your left thigh. Prayer hands like chair pose, but at least we're not in chair pose. Your left shoulder, tricep, and elbow are likely still on the mat. Push your left palm into your right palm, and that's going to drive your elbow into your thigh. That's also going to deepen the twist and the work on the right side of your abdomen. And release. Full body stretch. Hug your knees in. Rock up and down your spine 3, 4 times. After your last one, cross over your ankles, step or jump back, vinyasa. We'll meet in a downward facing dog. Bring your right leg up behind you, bend your knees, stack your hips, and then just move that right leg around freely in any way you like. Take an inhale, square your hips. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Once you get there, reach your right arm up, twist. Again, equal push down as you reach up. Sink your right hip crease. Reach your right arm towards the back of your space like you're taking a really slow backstroke. Let your fingers almost brush the mat outside of your right foot. Then bump your hand forward to the mat or a block and open up to the left half moon pose. We've done this transition in a few of my classes. It's one of my favorites because it kind of feels like a dance. You don't have to, but using that arm motion really makes it feel a little bit more fluid. Flex your left foot, gaze down easier. Start to bend deeply into your right knee and take a long step back, warrior two. Breath in, reverse warrior. Breath out, side angle. Bring your right elbow to your right thigh. You can extend your top arm or just reach it up. Push your right hip to the left. Inhale, come all the way up through star pose and around to the back of your mat into that twisted lunge. Now on this first one, we're going to place that left hand down again so we can go back to our 3-leg down dog. Reach your left leg up to the sky. Bend your knees, stack your hips, and move that left leg around. Take an inhale, square it off. And then we're just going to step right back towards that left thumb, keeping your right hand down, reach your left arm up. Equal push, equal reach. Avoid the left shin and the left knee falling out. Hug to the midline. Take a big, slow backstroke circle with that left arm. As your fingers brush the mat, keep bumping them forward. And then open up to your right into a half moon pose. So it might be helpful to place a block at the front end and the back end of your mat if you've got two. Otherwise, you can always use your fingertips. That's what I like to do. Start to bend into your left knee. Take a long step back to warrior two. Breath in, reverse. Breath out, side angle. Bring your elbow to your thigh or hand to the mat. Your top arm can reach up or extend. Avoid dumping forward. So you want to lean back a little bit over your left thigh without arching your back. Inhale, come all the way up and around to the front into that twisted lunge. So then we're just going to keep going. You're in that twisted lunge facing the front of your mat. Sweep your right arm back, make that big backstroke, and then bump it forward, half moon pose. Inhale. Exhale, long step back, warrior two. Breath in, reverse. Breath out, side angle. Breath in, star pose. Breath out, twist at the back. Sweep your left arm back, down, forward, and open up half moon. Inhale. Big step back, warrior two. Exhale. Breath in, reverse. Breath out, side angle. Bring it all the way up through star pose and around to the front. Twist at the front. Right arm, big backstroke. Bump it forward, half moon. Step back, warrior two. Reverse warrior. Side angle. Through star pose and around to the back, twisted lunge. Big backstroke circle, then bump forward, half moon. That's an inhale. Slow step back on the exhale, warrior two. Reverse. Side angle. We'll go one more round all the way up through star and around to the front. Twisted lunge. Big backstroke, bump it forward, half moon, right side. Step back, Virabhadrasana 2. Reverse. Side angle. All the way up through star, around to the front, back of your mat, twist. Big backstroke circle, bump it forward, half moon pose, left side. Long step back, warrior two. Reverse. Side angle. Bring it all the way up and around to the front. Both hands frame your right foot. Step back, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Exhale. Roll your shoulders forward over your wrists to a plank pose. Drive your right knee to your left elbow. Step back, plank. Don't let your hips lift. Left knee, right elbow. Step back, plank. Right knee, left elbow. Plank. Left knee, right elbow. Plank. 2 more each side, right? Left. Use the exhale to tap, right? Left. Slow lower to your belly. Woo, sweet relief. That was a lot. All right, take that right arm out to the right with the palm facing down. Finally, a little bit of softness and stillness. Let's roll onto the right shoulder and step the left foot behind you, opening up the front of your right shoulder. If you would like to make this a little bit more intense, like a hip opener, you can walk your left foot closer to your right hamstring and then let your left knee fall out to the left. So you get a little bit more opening in your hips that way. You could also half wrap your left arm. Roll back onto your stomach and let's switch. Taking that left arm out to the left with the palm down, roll onto the left shoulder. I'm modifying because the mic is right there, but you can always do a cactus bend shape with your arm if you're like really short on space for this pose. I think it's a little bit more intense, so that's why I always take the arm all the way out, but a cactus bend works too if you're short on space. And then slowly roll back onto your stomach. Plant your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes to the mat. I want you to feel your kneecaps and your thighs lift off the mat. And then maybe, can you squeeze your core so much you can feel or imagine your belly button lifting up off the mat? Push down into your hands, keep your body engaged, and come out plank pose. Back to downward facing dog, where we'll take a cleansing breath in, and then exhale out of your mouth. Lift your right leg up. Step your right foot forward, warrior one, reach both arms up. Bind your hands behind your back, right thumb on top. Inhale, lean back. Exhale, dive, humble warrior. Keep your right hip sinking and bumping to the left. Don't forget about your back left leg. It's strong, sturdy, and firm. The ball of the right foot pushing down. Lessen the toes. We'll be here for 3, 2, 1. Bring yourself back up. Turn your right toes in and your left toes out. Take a warrior 2, face the back of your mat. Soften your shoulders. Flip your left palm, reverse warrior 1 breath. Windmill your hands to the back of your mat. Frame your left foot. Send your left leg up behind you, 3-leg downward dog. Crunch your left knee to your right elbow and kick it out to a fallen triangle. Your left toes, try to line them up with your left fingertips. Spin your back foot down so it's flat. Your back foot has to be like a warrior 2, that you're gonna feel pretty stable that way. Right hand down, left knee nose. Step your left foot to your left thumb, runner's lunge. Straighten into your left leg briefly. You can keep your toes on the mat or flex your foot. Just feel that nice stretch. Drop your back knee and reach both arms up, low lunge. You're facing the back of your mat. Grab your right wrist, inhale. Exhale, lean to your left. So if you feel wobbly, look down outside your left thigh. Come back up through center and take a prayer twist to the left. Hook your right elbow outside of your thigh. Push your left palm down into your right palm. You can wiggle into it a few times if you'd like. Then tuck your back toes and lift your right knee up off of your mat. Think sternum towards thumbs, left palm pushing down into right palm. Feel strong through your legs. Now I want you to look down at your left foot. Try to step your right foot to meet your left foot. You can always unwind and come back to the twist. Keep sinking into your heels. Keep that twist. Now look down at your feet once again and lift your left heel. Start to drive your left knee into your right tricep as you work towards standing. Keeping that prayer twist. Once you can't stand up any higher, your right hand will grab your left knee or the outside edge of your foot. Standing twist. Make your right leg, standing leg, the priority. Make that straight. If all of this is working out, try to look back at your left thumb for 3, 2. Release the grip, but keep the twist and take a big step back towards warrior 2. Your right heel lines up with your left arch. Then straighten your legs, reverse triangle, reach your right arm up. Come back through center, Trikonasana, triangle pose. It's important that you line up the feet before you start the pose. You don't want to be in these poses and adjusting the foundation. So it would be better to come out of the pose, readjust, and then come back to it. I like to grab the shin. Most people have tight hamstrings, so if they try to go hand to mat, they're dumping forward a bit. And that's why I like the shin or a block. Stay there or extend your top arm and feel more length through the left side. Look down and spin it to the left, wide leg forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana. Think chaturanga arms here. Bend your elbows. Press the outer edges of your feet down. Lift your shoulders away from your ears. So oftentimes you'll hear people say, relax your shoulders. Even though we're lifting the shoulders here, it's the same idea, because when you're standing and you relax your shoulders, they drop down your spine, away from your ears. We're doing that same thing here. So just because you're upside down, you have to lift the shoulders away from the ears, but you can feel more length in your neck that way. Lift up halfway. Keep your left foot exactly as it is. Step your right foot to meet your left foot. You're still facing the right side of your mat. Bend your knees and drop down towards another toe stand. You're still facing the long edge of your mat, but I want you to hook your right tricep outside of your left thigh. The higher you can get your thigh into your right tricep, the easier this arm balance will be. Point your fingertips towards the front of your mat so your hands are set up in a chaturanga, a down dog, or a plank hands, fingers forward. Then I'm going to have you lean your weight forward, making a shelf with your arms. Keep your feet together. Your face gets pretty close to the mat. This is side crow pose. Now, the ideal pose, you're not using your left elbow at all. You're hugging your left elbow in, but it's not making contact with your body. So it would look like this. Now, if that's a little bit far-fetched right now, that's okay. You can always learn by using your left elbow as a crutch. Now, this is not the correct way to do the pose, but it can kind of help you get familiar. You're gonna rest your left hip near your left elbow, and then you'll feel a little bit more stable here. Your face will probably even be closer to the mat, however. So Prava Batasan, side crow pose. When you're ready, from that position, you can step or jump your feet back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And I realize my mat is not completely straight, so it's going to drive me absolutely crazy. Let's meet back in downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up. Step your left foot forward. Grab another warrior one, reach both arms up. Bind your hands behind your back with the left thumb on top. Inhale, lift your sternum. Keep your legs strong and sturdy as you dive inside of your left thigh. Your hips bump a little right. You can use your left shoulder to kind of nudge your torso a little to the left. Grip less with your toes. Push the ball of your foot down. Squeeze your right thigh and push the outer edge of your right foot down. 3, 2, 1. Lift yourself back up. Turn your left toes in, your right toes out. Warrior 2, face the back of your mat. 1 breath, reverse warrior. Exhale, windmill your hands to the back of your mat. Frame your right foot, then take your right leg up behind you. Inhale. Exhale, crunch to your left elbow. Kick your right leg out. Do your best to line your toe tips up with your fingertips. Spin your left heel down and then reach your left arm. Fallen triangle pose. Make sure your right shoulder is over your wrist. Left hand down. Crunch your right knee to your nose. Step your right foot forward. You're in a runner's lunge. Straighten into the right leg briefly. I like to flex the foot and lift the toes, but it's up to you. Just breathe here, a few breaths. Low lunge. Reach both arms up. Grab your left wrist and lean to your right. If you feel wobbly, look down. Feel heavy through your right heel. Bring it back up, and then prayer twist to the right. Wiggle into it. Right palm push down into left palm. Once you're there, back toes can tuck. Pick your knee up. Elbows stacked. Right palm pushing down, sternum towards your thumbs. And then sink and pull back through your right hip crease. Look down at your right foot. Step your left foot to meet your right foot. If you need to unwind and come back to the twist, go for it. Keep pushing right palm down, twisting torso to the right. Look down once again. Lift your right heel. Start to drive your right knee into your left elbow. Your left leg will straighten as you come up towards standing. I like to flex the right foot. Feels a little bit stronger. Once you can't stand up anymore, your left hand will either grab your right knee or the outer edge of your foot and twist to the right. Standing up tall, lengthening the right side of your waist, so that right hip has to go down a bit. If that's all feeling okay, you can look back at your right thumb for 3, 2, 1. Keep the twist, but release the grip and take a long step back, warrior 2. Just make sure your left heel lines up with your right arch and then straighten your legs. Reverse triangle. Triangle pose. Let's grip with the toes. Firm up your thighs. So you want to feel a little lean back. You're not dumping forward, a little lean back, but without arching the back. So you don't want this curve in the low back. You want to soften your bottom ribs in so your back is neutral, actually. If that's going well, you can extend your top arm. I like pinky down so you feel a nice big stretch through your entire right side. Look down and then walk it over to the right. Prasarita Padottanasana. Grab your big toes or your ankles. Again, lift your shoulders away from your ears. Firm up your thighs. Feel your kneecaps lift. And feel your upper thighs where they meet your hips, squeezing a lot. That's also your low belly. That helps you fold a lot more. Release grip, halfway lift. Keep your right foot where it is. Step your left foot to meet your right foot. You're still facing the left side of your mat. Bend your knees, find your toe stand. Still facing the left side of your mat. I want you to hook your left tricep really high outside your right thigh. Your fingertips will point towards the front of your mat. Grip with your finger pads. Again, option to use the right elbow as a crutch, but we're trying to avoid that or eventually get out of that habit. Leaning your weight forward, keep your knees together. Prava Batasan. When you're ready, step or jump your feet back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, and exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take a pigeon pose on the right side. Take your time getting there. Feel that nice stretch outer right hip. If this doesn't feel good on your joints, grab a figure 4 on your seat or on your back. Maybe today you try to walk your hands a little bit forward or just do something different. Oftentimes, I feel like we always do the same thing. It's the same pose, but it feels a little bit different. To me, when I have the hands forward, I have to engage a little bit more. I'm definitely getting a deeper stretch in my outer right hip. Take one more breath here. Slowly walk your hands back towards you. Let's roll onto that right hip and open up towards the long edge of your mat. Flex your feet. Frame your right leg, hands on either side. Dive your left shoulder towards or inside your left thigh. Stretch your right arm up and over. So you're getting a side stretch on the right. If you have that space again, you want to go inside your left leg. Flex your toes and sink your right sitting bone. 3. 2. 1. Lift yourself back up. Pigeon pose facing the back. So you'll bend your left knee and roll towards the back of your mat. Again, maybe walking those hands all the way forward or taking another variation of your choice. Notice the breath naturally gets choppy when poses become challenging or uncomfortable. So if that's the case, see if you can breathe a little deeper. As you get more oxygen, you take deeper breaths, you get more oxygen into your lungs, into your bloodstream. That means you're also getting more oxygen and more nutrients into your muscles. So this is why yoga is great for recovery after a workout, maybe the day after for athletes, great for injury prevention, repairing, broken down tissue. Take one more breath here. And then walk your hands back towards you. Roll onto that left hip. Open up wide legs. Frame your left foot. Flex your feet. Dive your right shoulder towards your right thigh or inside. Left arm up and over. Again, if you have space, you want to go inside. Flex your feet so the toes are pointing up. They're not flopping. Nice and active. 3. 2. 1. Lift your torso back up. Keep your legs out wide. Feel the external rotation through your thighs. And then walk your hands forward. Keep flexing your feet. Breathe. You have to really squeeze your legs. So it's a stretch, but it's an active stretch. Squeezing. 3. 2. And 1. Walk your hands back towards you. Swing your left leg to meet your right leg, face the front of your mat. Bend your knees, stretch your arms forward, nice and slow. Lower all the way down to your back, one vertebrae at a time. Feet flat, arms by your side. Minimize the space between your low back and the mat. Fix your ponytail if you need to, because it oftentimes gets in the way. So minimizing that space so you can tone your belly and then lift your hips up. Scoop your tailbone towards the back of your knees. You might wiggle your shoulder blades a little bit closer towards each other. You almost want to feel your ribs soften down. 3, 2, 1, lower your hips down and take a breath. Let's do that again. Tailbone tuck, lift hips up, option to bind your hands underneath you, and then you'll want to wiggle your shoulders a little bit in. Keep scooping the pelvis, light toes, chest, little push towards the space behind you. 3, 2, 1, release spine, slow lower, take a breath. 1 more. Lift your hips up, maybe hands beside your head, push down, upward facing bow. If you've never tried this deep of a back bend, I'd recommend maybe watching a tutorial first or doing this with a teacher in person. It can be pretty intense if you're not prepared. Keep those toes pointing forward, push your chest towards the space behind you, and breathe into the front of your body for 3, 2, 1. Tuck your chin very slowly, lower yourself down, and then hug your knees into your chest. Feel your spine reset, neutral spine. Maybe rock a little bit side to side. Grab your hamstrings, rock once or twice up to seated Paschimottanasana, legs extending. You might even grab your butt and kind of move it back so the bony part of your butt is pushing down and your feet are flexed. Reach your arms up. Feel free to bend your knees as you hinge and fold over your legs. Crawl your rib cage down your thighs, sternum towards your shins, third eye center, forehead towards your toes. Balls of the feet pushing forward, outer edges pulling back. As you feel more space, you might work to straighten your legs if they're not already. And once again, pull your shoulders back, down your spine, breathe. 3, 2, 1. Walk your hands back, lie down onto your back, take your legs up, waterfall or shoulder stand, hands to low back. You could also do shoulder stand with a block. If you're using your hands, wiggle your elbows in a little bit, your fingers point up. So this is one of the most relaxing inversions, but that doesn't mean it's completely relaxed. You're still engaging your body, firm your glutes, your thighs, and your abdomen. Gaze stays up at your feet. Don't turn your head side to side. You might take your legs overhead, plow pose. Toes tucked or untucked. Totally different sensation, actually. You can bind your hands or grab the outside edges of your mat here. Press the back of your skull down if you're in plow. And then if you'd like to take it even further, you can bend your knees. Hug your knees towards your temples. Breathe as deeply as you can here. Obviously, it feels a little bit constricted. Slowly roll yourself down into a fish pose. Your legs will be straight, fingers under your butt, but your hands aren't under your butt, just your fingers. Forearms on the mat, toes point, sternum lift and head drops back. Take a lion's breath, inhale, forceful exhale. Tuck your chin and then slowly lower yourself onto the mat. If there's any closing pose you'd like to take, like a happy baby or a supine twist, obviously this is your practice, so please go ahead and take that before you settle into a Savasana. When you are ready, you'll make your way onto your back, allowing your toes to flap out and your arms kind of like a starfish by your sides. Soften your palms. And if you have trouble relaxing your body, what I sometimes like to do is kind of squeeze. So curl my toes, make fists, squeeze everything nice and tight, squeeze your glutes, and then completely relax. Like a wave of softness and stillness has crashed over you. Release any effort, resistance from your body. Release any resistance or control over your breath. And finally, release any control, analyzing, resistance in your thoughts. Spend a few moments here where there is nothing to be achieved, nothing to do, just be. Shavasana. If your schedule allows, it would be wonderful to stay here for a few moments longer. But when you're ready, you can bring some awareness back within the four corners of your mats. Wiggle your fingers, your toes, and when you're ready, take a nice big stretch. Hug your knees into your chest, and then roll to your right or left side. Keeping your eyes closed, make your way up to a comfortable seated position. Relax your shoulders and bring your hands to your heart center. On the mat, it's a little easier to not rush things, move slower with your breath, not focus so much on what's coming next. See if you can keep a little bit of that with you as you step off of your mat today. We're always rushing into the next thing, the next task, or the next activity. So see if you can keep a little bit of this slowness, the enjoyment of the present, almost like you don't know what's coming next, so you just have to be wherever your body is. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Namaste. Thank you for choosing to practice with me time and time again. Or if this was your first class with me, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you check out some of my other classes as well. If you have any questions about the poses, transitions, really anything, just let me know in the comments. I do read and respond to all of the comments, so I really take those to heart, and any suggestions you have, I try to incorporate those in as well. Let me know if you have any questions. Give it a thumbs up if you have enjoyed my content. Be sure to subscribe and share this with your family and friends. Hopefully I will see you all next week for another fun flow.